It's time for one of my biggest videos of the entire year, and you get it on the first day of 2021. Traditionally, my yearly prediction videos are dead on. Don't believe me? We're gonna play a few clips in this video from last year's prediction video that are so dead on, it will leave you shook. So when I tell you what's gonna happen this year, you are gonna wanna listen because it could be the difference between you lounging in a deck chair on a yacht surrounded by babes in bikinis and getting absolutely wrecked. Because this video contains the number one thing you need to know that could determine the rest of your entire financial future. And that's not hyperbole. Let's get it. BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap gets you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.io. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money in crypto, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. In 2021, we're aiming to become the first channel in cryptocurrency to reach 1 million subscribers. And I think we're gonna get there. Also, if you buy into any of these predictions, you're gonna wanna make sure to take advantage of one of my biggest trading tools of the year, Token Metrics. You get a $5 7-day trial by visiting tm.bitboy.live. This is where I research coins and find the best gems and picks for 2021. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be giving you guys my top 5 predictions for 2021, and we're gonna be looking back at some of my predictions from last year. I'm gonna tell you the 5 things I see happening, and one is so important, if you don't handle it correctly, it could change your life forever. Stay tuned until the end of the video for that one, of course. For 2 years in a row now, I've nailed my prediction videos. Last year on December 31st, I released my top 5 prediction video for Bitcoin in 2021. My predictions included Bitcoin having a huge moment that would thrust it into the spotlight and make the public understand it better. Obviously, this was the helicopter stimulus money in light of the pandemic. I believe this will be the moment everyone looks back on as the turning point for Bitcoin. A case could also be made that PayPal jumping into crypto would also qualify there. I said crypto would take over in South America. Just do a quick Google search for crypto in South America, and you will see from Dash taking over Venezuela to the booming crypto trading in Argentina, that is happening, and more in the future. I also said that Bitcoin would play a role in the presidential election, and while Bitcoin itself didn't play as big of a role as I thought that it might, I did say this, which would foreshadow the craziness we saw in October and November. Somewhere during one of these presidential debates, probably not in the primaries, but in the main presidential election, that somewhere big tech is going to play a big role. People are going to be talking about Facebook, talking about Twitter, talking about Instagram, maybe talking about TikTok, and how that relates to the general public. Privacy concerns, anything you can think of that we're concerned about with social media and with big tech, including Google, YouTube, censorship, this is going to play a role in the next election. I was even startled myself when I watched that part. Scary how dead on it was. But I was even more terrified by how low quality that video was. Forgive me, Father. Another prediction I made was that Bitcoin maximalism would go parabolic. Now, we've certainly seen many more people added to the Bitcoin maximalist group, along with the actual excitement from that camp being absolutely deafening. All you're hearing from these people is Bitcoin, 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 and that's great. One thing that actually happened that probably kept maximalism from reaching an even higher peak was the DeFi craze over the summer. It kept it from getting too out of control, but it was definitely another good prediction. However, my top prediction for 2020, well, this is a crown jewel. Check it out. Yes, Bitcoin will return to all-time highs in 2020. I know what you're thinking. What a vague prediction. Okay, but it gets better. Around November to December of this year, if things hold the way they've held in the past, we could be hitting those all-time highs. That's right. Not only did I predict an all-time high, I pinpointed exactly when the most bullish time would be, and I've stuck with that all year long. And it's worked out nicely for me. Here are the facts, guys. Other than people who may stream for hours talking about nothing, pretty sure nobody has put out more videos or content in crypto than I have. The immense level of hours in research and creation that I've put in has given me an absolute edge when it comes to understanding the fundamentals of the Bitcoin news cycle and being able to feel the heartbeat of the altcoin market. Of course, 70% or more of the videos I made on this channel never even got the attention that they deserved. I averaged probably 300 views seemingly forever. I mean, this video that I made with the predictions was dead on, and it was one of my highest viewed videos at the time with only 6,000 views. But in 2021, this video will get a lot more views than that, so hopefully many people will be able to reap the benefits from what we are going to talk about today. And if you see anything in this video that gets you excited about the prospects of the market and where we're heading to, you can always choose to trade at my trading site of choice, Bybit. You can visit bybit.bitboy.live to get signed up and then head on over to the Rewards Hub to get some great bonuses. Just remember, don't get euphoric and be responsible with your trading. So here they are, my top 5 predictions for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for 2021. At number 5, I have what could end up being the most significant prediction. It's the one that honestly could have the largest effect on global economics. The Coinbase dollar, known as USDC, will win the stablecoin wars. There are countless stablecoins, or coins pegged to the value of an asset. Most of the times, at least in America, we think of them as a coin worth a buck. Stablecoins account for 60% of all trading, but they make up less than 5% of all coins. Tether, currently under investigation from the CFTC, has widely been questioned as legit. Meanwhile, Coinbase is getting ready to launch its own IPO, or publicly traded company. This could be one reason it felt the pressure to delist XRP amid the SEC investigation. The point is, Coinbase keeps its nose clean and goes above and beyond to meet regulations. It's kind of the darling of the government when it comes to crypto companies. Earlier this year, while addressing the IMF Global Conference, U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said they are keen to work with the private sector in order to create the digital dollar, something that needs to happen if they're going to keep airdropping US dollars to everyone with a pulse, and maybe even, who knows, birds. In 2021, a landing strip will be laid for the Coinbase dollar to eventually become the digital dollar for the United States. That won't actually happen probably until 2022 or 2023, but the groundwork has been laid, and USDC will become the top trade stablecoin as Tether finally begins its fall into obscurity. My number 4 prediction is that XRP falls from grace and a new project rises to the top as the number 3 overall cryptocurrency excluding stablecoins. With the recent problems with the SEC, it's easy to predict the Ripple Labs project tumbles downward out of the top 5. I believe it could easily regain that ranking after an SEC settlement, but in the meantime, a project will rise to become their number 3 crypto, and I believe that coin is Chainlink. Here's why. When you really stop breaking down the top 10 crypto projects, obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum are not going anywhere anytime soon. Tether's a stablecoin, so that's no fun. XRP is slipping. Litecoin has lost many of the advantages that made it big in 2017, and it's essentially a fork of Bitcoin's code. Hard to see the Bitcoin hard fork, Bitcoin Cash, climbing back up. Polkadot and Cardano entertain the same smart contract space, along with Ethereum, making it difficult to rise that high. BNB is a centralized exchange coin, and if we're honest, DEXs are taking over, which leaves my top competitor to climb to the number 3 spot as Chainlink. Its Oracle technology is a trendy niche, and there's nothing above it that occupies the same space. Look for Link's sideways action over the last 3 months to end in 2021 to be the year Chainlink permanently lands with the big dogs. My number 3 prediction is that Ethereum institutional FOMO will kick in. And this is why some people like Tyler Winklevoss believe Ethereum could go higher than even $50,000 to $75,000 per coin. Now, we have a much bigger video about this topic that we just released, and you can check that out. But here's the long and short of it. There's not enough Bitcoin to go around. Some estimates have said that up to 50% of companies in the Forbes 500 list will add Bitcoin to their treasuries in 2021. Exchanges everywhere are already dipping into their Bitcoin reserves. There simply is not enough Bitcoin to go around. This will kick off a monumental altcoin season where Ethereum becomes the clear winner of the altcoin space during the bull run. Institutional investors and funds will stack their coffers full of the number 2 crypto as they realize the Bitcoin train has already left the station and there's no bringing it back. My number 2 Bitcoin prediction is that Bitcoin will exceed $225,000 per coin. If you've watched this channel a while, you know that my personal prediction for this bull run, and has been since early 2020, is $225K. But I now firmly believe, due to some of the things discussed earlier regarding institutional FOMO, that I have undershot Bitcoin's realistic potential. And I'm not ready to announce a new full-fledged prediction. But based upon institutional and corporate FOMO, helicopter money, scarcity, and much more, I'm ready to admit that the price will in fact exceed 225K. I think 350K is perfectly realistic, but the more things go on, it seems that Bitcoin could be heading above $500,000. Yowzas. My number one prediction, and the most important prediction, is that the Bitcoin bull run will end in 2021, precisely on September 28th. Give or take 1 week, of course. The altcoin season and market may continue to move through Halloween, but Bitcoin will see a steep decline following September. This is based on the golden bull ratio from Trader Trading Shot on TradingView. We've discussed this many times on this channel, so I know I don't need to go very deep into detail here. But what I will say is I do believe, due to the institutional buying and hodling hands of steel, that we'll be looking at more like a 60% drop in the next bear market and bear winter instead of 85%, which has been the average. I could easily see the price going up to 500K and settling around 200K. But $100,000 would be firmly in reality. But even if it settled around 100 to 150K, it would still be less of a drop than we've seen in the past. And whatever number Bitcoin reaches, you could do the math there and figure out where 60 to 80% is. But the market, in spite of what your feelings will tell you next year, will go down at some point. And at that time, I will tell you guys to short the market. And people will call me Satan. But I only spit facts though. But let me know, what are your biggest predictions for 2021? Drop them below. Can't wait to come back here next year and see where we are, and see what I got right. And maybe if I got something wrong, but I doubt it. That's all I got. Be blessed, and have a blessed 2021. BitBoy out.